Okay, this is a Sodahead, and the question being asked here is, do you respect the Catholic Church? We have about 50% saying that they don't respect the Catholic Church. So let's actually read some of the comments. Now, there will be some profanity here, I think, some strong language, so if you don't want to hear the strong language, then just basically don't continue from this point. Here you see the first comment, and this chap doesn't really seem to be that happy with the Vatican and wants to turn it into a museum. He actually writes, "Are you serious? No freaking way. Child molesting, paedophiles and money and gold hoarders. Not to mention they own the major shares in Beretta Arms Co. or Holdings. The best pope is a pope on a rope." This chap says, "The superstitious ignorance of the Catholic Church and its subsidiary belief system are fading away. The evils of the Church are no longer hidden away from the world. The vast wealth hoarded by the Church, the depraved actions of the priesthood, the ancient moral codes instituted on society." Well, I'm not sure if they're actually moral codes, because the Bible testifies that idolatry is wrong. That doesn't support that if you're a man of God that you should be married. The Catholic Church used to support priests being married, but they stopped that about the 9th century, or 10th century actually. They stopped that. So it's actually a lot of their doctrine go against the Bible itself. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, because they don't read the Bible. They don't actually understand that the Catholic Church is he continues by saying, "The days of old white men in opulent dresses and phallic hats are pretty much over." Although we see that in the Church of England and so on. I mean, as much as I love Christianity, these men, for me, don't represent Christianity. They represent paganism. This person simply writes, "Find yourself a Bible-believing church where the Bible is not usurped by the traditions of men." It's very simple and to the point. This person is a member of the Catholic Church and says, "I have great respect for the Catholic Church as a member myself. I have great respect for what they do in terms of the massive charity work the Church does." It's the same for most religions actually. You don't need to be a Catholic to do charity work, by the way. "And the leadership role they take in faith matters." Leadership role. Well, maybe in their own eyes they see it that they're leaders, but in many people's eyes they're not leaders at all. They only lead people into immorality and hell, actually. "Have there been situations where certain members of the Church have acted out of step with morality?" Yes, there has been one or two. And she continues, "Certainly, but there's true with anything." Well, definitely true for the Catholic Church more than anything. "You do not throw the baby out with the bath water, and the Catholic Church to me is something well worth being a member of." Well, the baby is basically being thrown out with the bath water in the Catholic Church for many, many centuries. If it ever did represent true Christianity, that era must have ended practically thousands of years ago. And basically looking at it the way Constantine made it up, Constantine himself claimed to be a Christian, but he kept all his idolatrous statues and his idolatrous paganism beliefs in the actual church. So it's very hard to see that the Catholic Church at all, at any time, practiced any form of true biblical Christianity. Well, this chap says, "I respect the true teachings of the gospel, and for that it matters not which label you hang on any particular religion." Well, if you know what the gospel is, you'll know that the Catholic Church doesn't preach the gospel. If you know what the gospel is, you know that most of the Methodists don't really preach the gospel, very rarely preach the gospel. If you know what a Baptist is, of course there's many Baptist churches that do preach the gospel, but they're very, very much controlled by the governmental tax systems, whereby the government tells them what to preach and not to preach. and then they're not allowed to send members out to evangelise. So they're very restricted and controlled by the Catholic Church as well, the Baptists. It says, all faiths are a ways and means of being in touch with the Lord. Well, not really. The only way to the Father is through the Son, Jesus Christ. That's the gospel. So this person has demonstrated there's no idea really what the gospel is. This person said, used to be a member, glad I got out of it. It's very honest. And if you actually ask a lot of people in these Catholic charities if they're grateful for any of the work the Catholic Church has done, they'll probably give you the same response. I used to be there, but I'm glad I'm out of it. And this person states, how can I give respect to a bunch of alcoholic, money-grabbing, idolatrous, paedophilic child murderers? Are you serious? And then she comments, remember, hon, do what the priest tells you to do. He is a man of God. And then some strong language after that. Here we see a whole host of people linked with the Catholic Church, paedophiles, Jimmy Savile, satanic sex abuse, horrors. Basically, we'll see the website where a woman actually sees Pope Benedict sacrificing a young girl to one of the Catholic pagan gods. I don't know if that was at the Vatican itself, but yeah, let's just look at that right now. Well, this is one woman. I saw Joseph Ratzinger murder a little girl, eyewitness to a 1987 ritual sacrifice. And this woman's called Tus Nidjen, who's of Holland. That's one account. This is another website. It reads, child ritual killing, drinking of his/her blood at the Vatican Curia. The ritual of killing a child is part of the promotion to the Vatican Curia. Every cardinal, bishop or priest to be promoted to the highest level of the Vatican must first drink the blood of a child. This is a satanic ritual, obviously, they have in the Vatican.
When I was 4 years old, I'm the oldest one from the whole family, and it's a church ritual from what is in the Bible. The first one should be offered to God, and that was what they did to me when I was 4 years old. And then they put me on my stomach on the table. And the vicar, he put his fingers in my...
Well, that's too graphic to listen to, truly, but see, these people are actually trained to believe that all this is in the Bible, and these people tend to develop not only a hatred for the Catholic Church, but a true disbelief in God, because what the Catholic Church or pagans do or Satanists do is continually misinterpret the Bible, because Satan wants people to hate God, okay? Now, Satan's main intention is to quote from the Bible, even though, of course, we have the Satanic Bible now, but it's Satan's main intention to always use the Word of God and to misinterpret the Word of God, okay, and to get people to their hearts and minds turned against God. That's basically what the entire Catholic institution is about turning hearts away from the true God and over to the Antichrist and over to all their idols and basically Catholic gods and goddesses that have been worshipped in the Roman Empire for thousands of years. Even during the time of Christ was their mother and child worship there. Now remember, the Catholic Bible doesn't include the second commandment. It's deleted out of it, but it's actually written in many other passages in the Bible, such as Leviticus 26:1, Do not make any idols or set up any images. So that's idols or images, okay? And Exodus 24, you shall not make yourself an image. So specifically saying an image there, or an idol or likeness of anything, or bow down before it, okay? Now here we see in all the pagan cultures of the world, they're idolatrous cultures, whether they're Hindu, Buddhist, Catholic, whatever pagan religion it is, that the mother and child worship has been around even before Babylon. You see the first picture here, the Isis worship is from the time of, actually going back to Egypt, that's going back to. And then you've got the second picture from about the Persian age, actually before that, and so on. You've got all these idols, you've got Krishna, you've got every type of pagan idol here. And this is not talking about Jesus Christ, this is talking about the Antichrist, okay? The Antichrist. This is what it's talking about. This is idolatry, this is paganism. So please, if you're in the Catholic Church and you really want to stand up for God and do something for God, get out the church, ask Jesus Christ into your life, and become born again, as Jesus spoke to Nicodemus, saying that he had to be born again of water and of spirit to enter into his kingdom. Please take that seriously. Please, if you worship Jesus or want to know Jesus, please read his words and just obey him, okay? Well, thanks very much for listening. I hope this has helped you, and may the Lord bless you.